I'm Sonia and I help people take their power back. If you're interested in working with me, check out the description below and be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. In this video, I want to talk about imposter syndrome while you are manifesting. I don't know that I've ever heard anybody talk on this topic, but it is a very real thing in my experience, and I know other people who would be like, yeah, that's definitely a thing when you're manifesting. And that makes sense when you are starting to tell yourself things that you don't have any proof or true and are telling yourself, especially when it comes to your self-concept, the thoughts that you're believing about yourself. It's like, that's not who I am. That's not true. That's never been true. I don't know how to be like that. Let's take when I was looking at my self-concept and I'm like, man, I really want to be confident. I was never confident. I wanted to be confident. And I would start telling myself I'm confident, and it was uncomfortable. And I had so many other areas of my self-concept that I wanted to change. That was when I started telling myself I'm perfect, and the I'm confident came with I'm perfect. So instead of being like, oh, I'm not confident, I would just go to, no, I'm perfect, so I must be confident. That's how I did that, if you're curious. But, oh yeah, there was massive imposter syndrome attached to that. When I started getting on YouTube, there was imposter syndrome of, you're not really a YouTuber. You're not actually going to do that. That's not who you are. You can't do this. When I started offering coaching, same shit. Back in the day when I was doing tarot reading stuff, same thing. When I became a dog groomer, same thing. Imposter syndrome is very fucking real. When you're manifesting, it makes sense that you would experience that because you are telling yourself things that are not currently true. The problem with that is not what you're doing. What you're doing is you're making a different choice because all possibilities are equally possible right now. And the fact that you can think this thought means that it is just as possible as any other bullshit you're going to tell yourself. And you're focusing on massively what you have been taught the world, you've been taught the world works, that you have to see it to believe it. I'm a coach when I see that I'm a coach and believe that I'm a coach. But no matter what you do, I don't care what it is. No matter what you go to school to do or do as a profession, when you first get a job doing that thing, you're going to have imposter syndrome. And that is no different than when you are manifesting. When you start affirming shit that you were like, this has never been true, it would never be true, why would it be true for me other than I'm going to tell myself it's true? It's uncomfortable. And if you feel like, oh my God, I'm such an imposter, okay, affirm anyway. So much of manifesting is getting comfortable with that uncomfortable feeling. And I will tell you from my experience, now, when I start affirming new stuff, it is nowhere near as uncomfortable as it was in the beginning because I see and have seen so many times that it starts up here and then it is reflected back to you out here. It's not out here, in here, it's in here, out there. It's all imagination. It all starts in your imagination. It starts with what you tell yourself is true. And the more that you affirm and the more that your belief systems change, I know that's hard to believe when you start doing this, but your brain starts to change. I have become the person who always goes up here before anything else. That's my default setting now. Because I've recreated that belief, I've recreated that habit, and I'm no longer an imposter to it. It's who I am. But if you don't start deciding to be someone else, even though it's uncomfortable and you feel like an imposter, you can never be anybody than who you are and what you are right now. It comes down to a choice. Are you going to be a little bit uncomfortable and push through anyway, or are you going to let the discomfort ruin your chances of ever having a better life or a different life or having what you want because it's uncomfortable? Changing your mindset is uncomfortable, but the more you do it, the easier and more natural it becomes. The less you feel like an imposter and the more it just becomes how you function in the world. That comes through practice and repetition. and seeing it work time and time and time again, not for other people, but for yourself. Until I started truly having my own success stories and truly seeing things for how it was through my own experience, I don't think I ever would have gotten to where I am now. Neville was completely right. Neville Goddard was right when he said, don't just be hearers of the law, but doers. Until you are ready to be a doer, no matter how uncomfortable it is, no matter how much of an imposter you feel like, you're going to do it anyway. You are going to stay stuck in the experience that you are choosing right now. And it's a perfect manifestation because the law is always working, proving you right. So choose something different and keep choosing something different. The imposter syndrome will go away and things in your life will start to change. Thank you so much for watching. Love and light.